You're watching Forget Being Cool.
Let me tell you, this is a critic's movie. It's not a film.
Hi, Jeff.
Hi, are we recording?
Yes, we're recording. Did you know we're recording?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
Do you know what movie we watched this week?
Yes, Jeff. We
watched La La Land. Oh, wait. No, it's Moonlight.
Oh, yeah, it's Moonlight. Thanks to our friend for picking a number on Twitter, Grouchy Surge, picked 23, which happens to be the movie Moonlight on our poster of movies we must see before we die. Jeff.
Yeah. Yeah?
I don't know why we kind of started with the Truman Show, but this is our first, real movie. I'm so disappointed.
You're disappointed?
Look, I know I'm gonna hurt the feelings of the opinions of people in 2017 who saw this movie and thought it was the greatest thing they'd ever seen in their world.
I thought it was okay.
I thought it was garbage.
Why'd you think it was garbage?
God, where do I start, Jeff? Half the scenes feel pointless. I know that there's 3 acts that are trying to tell me some grandiose story about growing up and being different.
Yeah.
But it's not that, Jeff. It's just not. There's scenes that are pointless. There's character development that isn't really character development, because for a character to develop, they need to change over time. And what I think happened here was nothing. This kid didn't change over time. He didn't grow up to become something better. He grew up in a harsh environment. Yes, dramatic, heartfelt. But I don't think he as a character developed very well. And I don't think the characters around him developed that well either.
He tells you the story of what it's like. It tells you the story of what it's like to grow up in an environment like that. It makes you actually feel for him.
But I don't. All right, let's establish a couple things here, Jeff. One, for audio listeners, both Jeff and I are not black. I think that's important to establish here. This is an all-black cast, which I think shows more about the movie industry than anything to get this film made. I think that's a huge deal. I think that's a huge accomplishment.
Yeah.
I think it won awards.
The person who played Chiron was Muslim, and he was the first Muslim person he became the first Muslim to win an acting Oscar.
All right, that's huge. That's huge, and I think because it pandered to the Academy just a little bit, I think it won a bunch of awards because of that. And I'm not trying to trash the movie here, but I think I think this story could have been told better.
I think. How do you think it could have been told better?
Have him actually show some progression and change. Because really what happened is this kid went through the motions and we got to watch it happen. But even by the end, by Act 3, by his adulthood, he hadn't grown as a character. He relied on the one person that he had an intimate relationship with to show him what that relationship could be like.
So he went through a lot of drama, or he went through a lot of trauma in his life. He went through a lot. He didn't really have a lot of support growing up. The only really person that's helped him and stuff was Teresa. Her mom was.
But even then,
bad.
But even then, to go back to Teresa is the wife, lover, whatever, / of the drug dealer who was dealing the drugs to his mother in the first place. And then even after all that, after all the problems with his mother, everything that happened, he still grew up to be a drug dealer, Jeff. That's not character development. That's not improving. That's not changing. That's not making a difference. That's staying with the mold because it's safe. It's not proving anything about Chiron as a character. In my opinion, this is just my opinion. This is just the opinion of one guy. I would have felt.
Well, this.
Go ahead.
I mean, it's a story that just tells the story of like what it's like to be gay, be gay in an environment like that, and to have like grow up in like the ghetto and stuff like that.
Yeah, but it.
And a lot of times in real life, people who grow up in the ghetto stay in the ghetto doing ghetto things. It takes an exorbitant amount of pressure or effort in order to get out of a lifestyle like that.
I know, but I wanted him to grow as a character. And I think where this movie fails to me is a lot of the scenes feel pointless. And I know that they're realistic, and I feel like they accurately portray what that environment would be like. And I think maybe as a true to life story, this movie hits those nails on the head. But I don't think as a film, as a 3-part transition to adulthood, or the Amazon description of this amazing transition to adulthood, I don't think he does that amazing character development and change. Like, I just think as a film, it never really impressed me. I don't think the cinematography exceeded anything but my expectations. I think a lot of the cast was really well done. I think the actors, even the kid actors, did a really good job of playing their parts. But I never felt invested, because I never felt as if I never had a reason to care, I guess.
Let me tell you, this is a critic's movie. It's not a film. It's not an average film watcher's movie.
Yes, and
that's why it won. That's why it won the award. But that's also why it had the second lowest grossing of a movie that won the award, behind The Hurt Locker, because it's a critic's movie. It's not necessarily a moviegoer's movie.
Yes, but even when you look at it as a critical standpoint on Rotten Tomatoes, like if you were to look at the scores, right? It leans heavily on the critic side. Like, the critics definitely love this movie more than the general audience. And I expected that, because it does cater to that audience. But the audience seems to love this movie to an unbelievable level, to a level that I am shocked by. And I went to watch the reviews, Jeff, just out of curiosity. And like, there's not a single person who doesn't absolutely love this movie.
I think you have a particular taste in movies, Dave.
I think that's true, but I think
I watched it. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't even know what this movie was about.
Neither did I.
I watched it, and like, you get an experience out of it. It's like like an amusement park ride.
About 30 minutes in, Jeff, I had to look up what this movie was about, because I really wasn't sure why I was watching it. Also, I needed to confirm that this was the correct movie, because we just found this on Amazon Prime. And I had to make sure we were watching the right movie.
Oh, I knew it was the right movie, but I did not know what the movie was about. I just watched it. Like, I mean, I don't need to know what a movie is about to be able to watch it.
No, I think some movies are better when you don't know what you're getting into.
Yeah.
Man on a Ledge. It's a great movie, only if you have no idea what it's about.
That is entirely true. Like, that you can only watch that movie once.
You can only watch it once. It's not a very good movie. This is arguably definitely a better movie. But that movie is an enjoyable experience. Versus this, Jeff, I continuously kind of got bored. I was mad at him for beating up the kid and then going to juvie. Like, that doesn't make him the bigger person. That doesn't make him taking the high road. It doesn't make me.
But that's like real life, though. That's like real life knit and grit. Because you like superhero movies where the person always overcomes it and does a better thing. a lot of times in real life, somebody doesn't do the better
But-
thing, and they just do things to get back at each other.
But the best thing about characters, and the best thing about characters developing over time, and this is just my opinion, and everybody can, leave it in the comments what you think. But I think the best stories are characters who have flaws, like him. He has his own flaws. He's overcoming what this world has presented him with. But it's about surpassing that, about becoming the better person, about changing who you are to be better. And then, yes, you make mistakes along the way, but I don't know what he learned. I don't. He
didn't become the better person.
I know.
That's not what the movie's about.
I just don't think
The movie's
he
not
changed.
about becoming the better person. It's about changing.
It's not, though.
It's not even. It's about.
It's about not breaking the mold. It's about following the things even till the end.
It's a
And,
coming of age movie.
oh, yeah, but we all make our mistakes growing up, Jeff. I think that's fair to say.
Dave, if they made a movie about your life,
It'd be the worst movie ever. It would be significantly worse than this, I promise you. I don't know. I was hoping for something more with all the rewards, with all the critical praise that this movie has gotten. I was not impressed, and that's just my opinion. Jeff, if you were to give this a Rotten Tomatoes score, what would you give?
see that's a hard thing. So these types of movies, like coming of age movies and stuff like that, this aren't necessarily my forte. I'm more of comedy movies. What else would you say? Wait. Like I like comedy movies. I like some romance
and science fiction,
sci-fi, and stuff like that. This necessarily isn't my forte, but I thought I would say it's not as good as La La Land. I enjoyed La La Land a lot better. Have you watched La La Land?
Which I have not, but is also a super critical, pandering movie to critics, from what I know.
It's a really good movie. I liked it a lot. I would give this. What?
See, I still think it's sitting down in in the rottens, like in the 40s, and I know.
What? You think I was going to give it like an 80?
Oh no, it's sitting at like 79. It does not deserve that 79 as an audience.
But you're just
As an audience member, Jeff.
As an audience member, it has a 98% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, I so disagree.
And see, you're in the bottom quartile. Not a lot of people agree with you.
I wanted to see him grow, and I don't think we saw him grow, and the story is about growing.
Well,
and
at the end, he finally admitted his sexuality, and he came to confront it.
Yeah, to the one.
It's basically a person
person
discovering his sexuality after enduring so much in his life.
I know. It just feels like I would have been more impressed if he had confided that information in somebody else, somebody new, not Kevin.
Why somebody new?
Because Kevin, he already knew he could trust Kevin.
What do you mean?
He learned that he could trust Kevin early on, and then Kevin beat him up because Dread Dude told him to.
Yeah, because it was like a hazing. If he didn't, he would start getting picked on.
Right. Which is, I don't know.
It's basically Kevin did that. He immediately regretted everything he did. He regretted doing that, and for the rest of his life, he lived with that regret until he couldn't bear it anymore and had to talk with him. And then he heard that song. He's like, I have to talk to him and finally make amends.
I feel like Kevin developed more as a character than our main character.
You're right. Yes.
And I think if the movie were about Kevin, I would have a completely different opinion.
No, but Kevin.
I think Chiron did not develop as a character at all. He has one moment, and I don't think he even confronts his mother correctly. I don't think he confronts his drug dealing problem committedly. I think if the movie was about Kevin and him realizing with his now ex-wife and that story, I think Kevin developed and learned more about himself than Chiron.
Yeah, but it's not necessarily what you think if he did it correctly or not. It's how he did it.
Anyway, Jeff, I give this like a 60 because it's well made, I guess.
What do you give Waterboy?
Waterboy? Adam Sandler's Waterboy?
Yes.
I give it a 73%.
So you're saying Waterboy is a better movie than this?
No. I'm saying that as an audience member, I enjoy Adam Sandler's Waterboy more than this.
Because it's in your forte. You're saying this movie isn't... It could be a good movie, but it's not in your forte.
Yes, I would agree with that. Anyway, Jeff, I think this movie impacted many people. I may not be one of them.
It was really a good coming of age, LGBTQ. I mean, it was the first one to win an Oscar.
It definitely has its audience, and we need to appreciate it for that. But it does not. And Jeff, I want to say this before we go. Okay?
Yeah.
You and I grew up in a very different environment than the one that this story is told in.
Yeah.
I probably saw more dudes making out with dudes in the hallways of high school, than I saw men and dudes and ladies and dudes and ladies making out in the hallways in high school. So our environment was very different.
Yeah.
We have a gay black mutual friend who I have interacted with in full drag multiple times. And so for me to view this movie, I have a very different opinion of that community and who it's for. And I understand that there's people who struggle with this, and I know that was a very different time. I think from my perspective, it's a little different.
We gave it that we grew up in a different society, a different environment than this one.
Right. So, I mean, I don't sympathize with the story as much as others. Anyway, Jeff, this has been the Film Impact. We're going to watch another bucket list movie next week. You guys can check the links in the description for all that information you guys want to watch along with us, of course.
Yeah.
It's all there. I'm Dave Moore. That's Jeff Daly. And
I'm Dave Moore. This is Jeff Daly.
This has been the Film Impact.
For more great discussions, hit that subscribe button or visit forgetbeingcool.com.